Yo guys, what's going on? TheCuriousBrit back once again, and I know some of you are probably wondering where I've been the past few weeks. Well, I've actually been travelling around Thailand. I just recently got back, so I'll be back to the regular 2 uploads a week from now on. If you like what you see, don't forget to smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe. Today we're doing a video from NotJustBikes. We're reacting to why Dutch bikes are the best and why you will want one. If you like what you see, like I've said, smash the thumbs up. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it.
This is our Dutch bicycle. It's an oma fiets, literally grandma bicycle. There is
A what? An oma feet? Never heard of that before. It's usually BMX or mountain bike. So
really nothing special about it, at least here in the Netherlands. But in Canada, the US, or many other countries, this bike would be very unique indeed, and bicycles like this one really surprised me the first time I visited the Netherlands. There's a good reason for this uniqueness. In the Netherlands, bicycles are seen as a tool for everyday transportation, a way to get from point A to point B quickly and efficiently. In most other countries, bicycles are used primarily for sport and exercise. This one difference explains nearly everything special about a bike like this. Now, it's not like this is the only kind of bicycle you'll see in the Netherlands, of course. There are many others, including e-bikes, cargo bikes, hand cycles, and you'll definitely see road bikes used for sport too, especially on weekends. But for everyday urban transportation, this style of bicycle is by far the most common. So what makes this bicycle so different from what you might be used to?
let me guess. The upright bar is bent and it's not straight across, so it's easier to get on and off. More forgiving for different types of clothing. That's all I can think of.
Well, the primary difference is that this is an upright bicycle. It's built to ride in an upright sitting position. This is an inefficient position that will not transmit maximum power into the crank during a pedal stroke, plus it's totally not aero. But who cares? What the upright position does provide is comfort. The handlebars on this bicycle are high up and swept back, making it extremely comfortable to ride. On this kind of bicycle, you almost pull up and back on the handlebars rather than putting any weight on them. This is just a more comfortable way to sit on a bicycle, and the design is very similar to the original safety bicycle developed in the UK in the late 19th century.
Hey, UK getting a shout out. At least we can do something right.
Sitting upright also makes it easier to see what's going on around you, which can be safer when cycling in busy urban environments with lots of other people around. Riding this way lets you wear any type of clothing you'd like because,
yes, I was right, clothing.
It's no different than sitting in a chair, which is why you see most people in the Netherlands dressed for the destination and not the ride. This bicycle has a step-through frame, meaning that you can get on and off it very easily without having to swing your leg around like you do on a bike like this, with a crossbar.
Yeah, that's how most bikes in the UK are, with a crossbar.
These frames are fine and you'll definitely see them here, but I find them particularly annoying if you have a kid seat, because if you swing your leg up to get on, you kick your kid in the head.
Well, I've never looked at it like that before. I need an ad blocker.
I'll still go in.
Skip.
No.
Skip.
And I don't understand why we still call these men's bikes when it's the only kind you can hit your nuts on. Because step-through frames are more comfortable to use, they're increasingly popular for both men and women. This is another thing that contributes to people wearing normal clothes when cycling, and why you'll even see women wearing dresses and skirts. Speaking of skirts, this thing is called a skirt guard or coat guard, and it's quite common on Dutch bicycles. It prevents long articles of clothing from getting stuck in the spokes as you ride. It also helps prevent a child sitting on the back from getting their foot stuck. Another thing to protect your clothing is the chain guard, a plastic or metal cover over the bicycle chain. It also helps to protect the chain from the elements, making it last longer. This thing here is called a frame lock, and almost every bicycle in the Netherlands has one. These are incredibly convenient for so many reasons, but I've almost never seen them outside of the Netherlands, Denmark, and Japan. They are an easy way.
Nah, we've got stuff like that in the UK. I've seen stuff like that before over here in the UK. I've never personally used one myself because I wouldn't feel safe just putting one of them locks on my bike and just leaving it. Like, by the looks of things, that's what we do in the Netherlands. Whereas in the UK, we usually chain our bike to a fence or a lamppost or something to make it secure.
To lock the back wheel of your bicycle for quick stops, which makes it really easy to pop into a shop when riding somewhere. The frame lock also keeps your key inside as you ride. You can actually buy frame locks that don't do this, but I really like the key retaining feature. This is a small detail, but it ensures that your bike keys are always with you. That being said, I have been known to accidentally hit the key with my leg and bend it like this. Oops. Also, while there's a lot of space for the locking mechanism in the wheel, I seem to hit the spoke far more often than you'd think. I should have gone into neutrino research. When this lock is engaged, you can't ride the bicycle, but you can, of course, just pick it up and walk away with it. So if you want to ensure that your bike is still there when you return, it's best to bring a chain lock with you as well, and most people do.
I was gonna say...
If you see bikes locked only like this, it's probably because the owner considers their bike too crappy to steal. A slight variation on this is a frame lock with a chain lock integrated, giving you 2 locks with 1 key. Interestingly, U-locks, by far the most common locks in North America, are not seen very often in the Netherlands. Probably because it's difficult to get close enough to something to lock to with so many other bicycles around. Another feature you'll see on almost every bicycle in the Netherlands is both front and rear fenders. This makes sense in a country where it rains all the time. Fenders are not considered an optional add-on here. What's also included is a kickstand. Almost every bike comes with one. Over the fender, you'll usually find a rear rack, though some bikes have a rack on the front. Ultimately, these bicycles are meant to be useful, so having panniers at the back or a box on the front allows people to carry a surprisingly large amount of stuff. No SUV required. Rear racks in the Netherlands are also built strong enough to carry another person, which you see quite regularly. But then everything on a Dutch bicycle is heavy duty. These aren't aluminium or carbon fiber frames, they're made of solid steel. These bikes are not built for speed.
Pooh, solid steel bike. Bet you they're heavy.
They're built to last. In general, Dutch bicycles are built to be low maintenance. So when a bicycle has gears, they're often internal hub gears like this one. In-hub gearing is great because they almost never need maintenance. This is very different from derailleurs, which I find are constantly going out of alignment. Of course, many bicycles, including this one of ours, don't have any gears at all. You might also notice that this particular bike doesn't have any handbrakes either. A lot of bikes here do have handbrakes, but this one uses coaster brakes that you engage by cycling backwards. This was fascinating to me because in Canada, you will never see brakes like this except on children's bikes.
You are? I don't think I've ever seen a bike in my life where you cycle backwards to stop.
They take some getting used to, but I really prefer cycling like this.
All bikes in the UK have brakes, front brake, back brake, on the handlebars.
As it feels so natural to pedal forward to speed up and pedal backwards to brake. By not having any handbrakes or gears, it keeps the bike simple and maintenance-free. It also avoids any cables that might accidentally get stuck on other bicycles when parking in tight places. All of this is done to keep the bicycle in good working condition, which is important when it's your primary mode of transportation. The only problem we've ever had with this bicycle is the occasional flat tire. And speaking of tires, did you know they use a different tire valve here?
What?
In the US and Canada, there are only ever 2 tire valves. Presta, found on road bikes, and Schrader, found on everything else.
Yeah.
Here in the Netherlands, they use a Blitz valve.
A what?
These valves have a little ball that prevents air from getting out. They're really easy to work with. In case you're curious, you can just use a regular Presta pump to fill these. Just pump it up to a high enough pressure and the valve will open automatically. Another thing...
You what? The Netherlands doing things
Another thing you'll
different.
sometimes see on bicycles here is a dynamo. These go in the wheel hub or on the wheel and generate enough electricity to power LED lights. These are pretty nice, as you never need to worry about recharging batteries or forgetting your lights. Just another small thing that makes these bicycles simple for everyday use.
That is quite
And lastly,
clever.
the bell on this bike makes a pleasant sound.
Doo-doo.
Though you hardly ever need to use your bell here, so it doesn't really matter. When we were still living in Canada, we knew about upright Dutch-style bikes and tried for years to buy one, but they were almost impossible to find. This photo sums up the situation in Canada. A selection of bicycles supposedly for commuting, with nothing but sporty hybrids and road bikes. They don't even come with a rack, fenders, or kickstand. Maybe there are more bike shops with upright bicycles today, but when we lived in Toronto, there was only one shop that sold them, and the next closest was over 50 kilometers away. Here in Amsterdam, I can't swing a pair of clogs without hitting a dozen bicycle shops that sell functional, practical bicycles. Bicycles that are designed for transportation, not sport. One group, in Winnipeg, Canada, got so frustrated trying to find practical urban bicycles that they started importing new and used bicycles from the Netherlands. They call themselves the Plain Bicycle Project, and they're regularly receiving shipping containers full of bicycles from the Netherlands. So to my Dutch viewers, when you're finished with your bike, please consider donating it to needy families in Canada. It's so great to have bicycles that aren't for sport. Bicycles whose primary function is to be there when you need it, to carry your shopping or your friend, and to be used with as little effort as possible. No special gear or costume changes required. This is a point that's often overlooked because while it's obviously important to have safe streets and cycling infrastructure, it also makes a difference to have easy access to practical, low-maintenance bicycles like this one. Living in Amsterdam, I know that when I need to go somewhere, taking a bicycle will usually be the fastest and most convenient way to get there. But it's also important to know that I won't have any problems either, because of our old, clunky, rusty, beat-up, comfortable, reliable Omafeets. I'd like to thank my supporters on Patreon who pay me to talk about just bikes on NotJustBikes. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to bonus videos, visit patreon.com/NotJustBikes.
That was... Wow, that was quite the insight, really, into Dutch bicycles. That's opened my eyes. That's completely different to over here in the UK. Over in the UK, mainly just the sporty type bikes, like you were saying. You might get the odd step-through bike, but the more common. I live up north, the more common down south in the likes of London. You've got like the Boris bikes. They're like a step-through bike design, obviously designed for a commuter. Probably took inspiration from the Dutch, but it was really eye-opening and interesting to learn how useful their bikes actually are. If you've liked what you've seen, don't forget to smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe down below so you never miss a future upload. Until next time, I've been the Curious Brit. Peace out, people.